Well, we had a literal power outage there as it, I wouldn't even say blinked. It stayed off for a few seconds before coming back on, but nonetheless, we thought that we had internet saved. We thought that we might be able to salvage the stream there, but instead, part 2. What's amazing is Audition did save the recording file, so we'll be able to pull this up in podcast form and get that to people who are not watching live there. So, yeah, it's new things always. It's always something. So there's that. I think. No, it's better. If we were using the old recorder, it would have saved it that way too. That's what I was trying to think because it's battery powered. It would have held on.
It would have held on.
Yeah. So, anyway, well, we thought we mentioned the landscape people. We thought maybe something was cut, but it appears that it was just a little glitch there in the power situation.
Power just dropped for a minute there.
I have no idea what we were talking about.
I don't either.
Was it A&M, Vanderbilt? Or had we moved on?
I think we'd moved on from that.
To what?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
We'll just use this as an opportunity to transition to, we'll talk the baseball the last 15, 20 minutes. And
we'll say I do.
We'll say, hey, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm proud of how calm we were.
It's fine. Whatever.
It's fine.
I knew about it.
No, it's true.
It was less tense than when the computer wouldn't do whatever it would do on the football game day. That
was
night.
Bad. If it's going to happen, let it happen on a Monday when we've already taped 50 minutes.
Yeah, whatever. So Ole Miss baseball, 5-0 week. Rebounded from the series loss to UCF. Look, Memphis was not good on Tuesday. Jackson State was not good on Wednesday. I do think Belmont was a little better than maybe they got credit for being. They went 18-12 the last full season in the OVC. The OVC is the conference Tennessee Tech is in. They were decent last year prior to the shutdown. They're okay. They got a few guys in the lineup I like. I thought they pitched it pretty well after Friday as well. So yeah, they were fine. Ole Miss winning 2 one-run games. I thought that winning different ways was a good thing for Ole Miss. They would get some routes, get some confidence back, and then winning on Saturday and Sunday when they didn't necessarily have their best stuff. I thought starting pitching was kind of spotty. I talked about that in a little observation sort of thing I did this morning. Pitching-wise, they're giving up too many home runs as starters. They're not throwing a lot of ground balls. Pitch counts are getting up there. It's sexy to have a lot of strikeouts, but sometimes it also means that you're missing in some bad spots. The stuff is good. The location's iffy. I don't have the stat in front of me. I guess I should pull it up to read it. But they're essentially there's 3 starters have allowed 8 home runs in like 45 innings. The rest of their staff has only allowed 2 in like 60 innings. So they're elevating the ball. They're going 5 innings. Pretty much everybody goes 5 innings or more, but they're not going deep into games, and pitch counts are really, really high. I mean, Hoagland, he's gotten 100 pitches in like the 5th, early in the 6th inning the last few times.
Is he wasting a lot of pitches?
There's a lot of 0-2 to 2-2. A lot of just that extra pitch that you don't necessarily notice. A lot of foul balls. I mean, just can't quite get out of it. What made Nikhazy so good as a freshman is throwing ground outs.
Yeah.
Hey, just throw to contact, throw to some outs. And, the other day I look up and Doug struck out 10, and okay, but it's not really how you're pitched.
Okay, is this an across baseball thing? Because you see this in the bigs a lot, too. Like, I was watching some spring baseball this weekend because I'm really weird, and there were a lot of 2-2, 3-2, 9-pitch at-bats.
Some of it. That's
because the game has become a strikeout home run game.
But in college baseball, when you don't have the setup guy who throws 98 and this and this and this, you got to stay in the game a little bit. Even if that is what it is,
sure.
Location is still location. It's a lot like real estate. I mean, you still got to put the ball where it needs to be.
One of the things I think Mike would probably tell me, hey, how many games have you coached at the SEC level? And I would say, well, fair.
It's a low number.
Fair enough. It's not a strong number.
Fewer than Terry Bowden has at the SEC level.
True. Sometimes I think Ole Miss makes it such a habit of wasting 0-2 pitches
that people just lay off.
That everybody knows, okay, I've got a chance to collect myself here.
Well, I mean, I do. That's what I noticed early in games is, barring an exception here or there, you look up and it's 0-2, and then it's 2-2, and then it's a foul ball, it's another foul ball, and suddenly it's like an 8-pitch at bat, and you're like, I mean,
Right.
Hoagland the other day throws him scoreless first inning, but he threw like 26 pitches, and it's like, what the hell just
That's
happened?
a victory for the offense.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
what just happened here? And, Diamond has been a little worse at it than other guys. He's still learning how to pitch. I'm not going to blame, it's different from him a little bit. But if you said, hey, what was sort of the flaw you want to watch through the weekend, that's what it is. There was something starting pitching related that I kind of focused on. Tim Milko struck back, had a big weekend. Kevin Graham, he's National Player of the Week this week. 5 home runs on the week, including 2 yesterday. Kevin Graham was really good. Hayden Dunhurst is not quite getting the overall recognition that he deserves. He might be the best player on the team right now for what he does defensively. He's already a major league level catcher, and he's struck out once in 50 plate appearances this season. He's leading the team in batting average. He's hitting .371. He's second on the team in OPS behind only Elko. I mean, he's really doing a lot of good work right now for Ole Miss. So Mike moved him up to the 3 spot in the batting order yesterday. Got a hunch he camps out there for a little bit. I think they'll get Chattenay back in a week or so. I don't know when the next time we're talking to Mike. I guess tomorrow. But nonetheless, they'll get him back. It's cool. They're 10-2. They get one more week of warm up prior to Auburn.
Sure.
And you still better make hay a little bit in those 2 weeks. Auburn and Alabama there to start league play. Auburn coming off a really, really weird weekend against Boston College. And then Alabama losing its second game of the season. They lost 1 to Charleston. So they won 2 out of 3 against College Charleston this weekend. Their other loss to UT Martin in the midweek. The Tide's better. They're not good, but they're better. I think they have a shot to be a regional team, and if so, the West, you just better buckle up because it's ridiculous. I mean, there's one team in the SEC that absolutely is horrid, and everybody else is pretty good. So, Missouri is awful.
And they don't, they don't care.
Awful.
They don't care.
When they stumble into some arms, they're kind of decent, and you can sort of make it work. But to this point, here is Missouri's schedule to this point. Oh, it's just like blowing up.
Everything all right?
Yeah, it was another media member, and then something now that says like a spam risk thing. So
someone's very concerned about your car warranty.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's. I don't know if you know this, but it's about to expire.
Oh, okay. All right. We getting a few of those.
I mean, all right. I wish I cared about anything as much as they care about my car warranty.
Okay. So Missouri on the season is 3-9. They have an 11-3 loss to Grand Canyon, an 8-4 loss to Grand Canyon. They beat Grand Canyon, then lost 10-3 to Grand Canyon. They split 4 games with Omaha, and that's not how you really want to bring Omaha into your baseball program. Losing 17-11 in one of them, and losing 9-3 in the other. They go out to Frisco and go 0-4. They lose to Dallas Baptist 3-2, lose to Dallas Baptist 8-0. Lose to Oklahoma 16-6. Oklahoma, who's 5-6 on the season, by the way, and then lose to Arizona 8-4. I mean, they are god awful. But everybody else is pretty damn decent. So Auburn 7-4. I don't love them. They're coming off the 2 out of 3 loss to Boston College, including one yesterday. That I guess I have seen that happen before, but it's been a really, really long time.
9-1 lead in the 9th with 1 out and lose the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
Got to 9-6. Boston College hit a 3-run homer and then won it in the top of the next inning with a couple runs as well. They went 11-9. Boston College, I think, ranked as high as 17th nationally, actually.
Yeah.
They won the regional that Ole Miss lost 0-2 at home a few years ago. Boston College won the 16 regional. And it might have been a little karma because I'm not convinced Auburn didn't cancel on Xavier to schedule Boston College. So maybe they got what they deserved a little bit over the weekend. If you watch the Twitter from last week, Auburn canceled for extenuating circumstances, then scheduled Boston College. Then Xavier's coach puts out a tweet going, hey, anybody can play this weekend. We just lost our series. So I have a hunch that Auburn may have done something to indicate they couldn't play. Then realized they could bring a top 20 program in, and suddenly they could play those guys instead of the Musketeers. So just a hunch there.
Had a couple of questions here. People wanted to know. Sammy wanted to know about some programming for baseball. Yeah, we're working on some things, especially when they get to league play.
Yeah, too early yet.
Yeah,
and it's got to be a TV game.
Yeah, and then Drew asked what kind of feedback we got from Oxford and/or around Swayze. I'll let you handle the Swayze part. I can tell you this about Oxford. I don't know as many people as Chase does. But I had a couple of people compare the weekend from a business standpoint to a home football weekend.
Which is high praise.
And something tells me that was not the Belmont baseball fans coming into town.
I don't know, they were in mass.
Something tells me that was people that were pretty excited that some limitations had been lifted.
Swayze felt completely normal Saturday and Sunday. Friday night was cold, and it was just kind of whatever. Mm-hmm. It was better, but it was whatever. I thought Saturday, though, weather was good. It was the exact crowd I would have anticipated for Belmont being in town anyway. It's not going to be completely packed. It's not going to be sold out, but it's a really good crowd. Yesterday was a really good Sunday crowd. Everybody didn't leave. You know, sometimes on Sunday for that 1:30 first pitch, you get the lighter crowd. Everybody headed back home and kind of going, all right, we'll skip it. They kind of stayed. It wasn't Saturday, but I think the official attendance was like 6,800, something like that. It was good.
It's awesome. It's great.
I heard the basketball crowd was pretty poor on Saturday night against Vanderbilt.
I don't know that there was enough time for people to really make arrangements. And then again, it's that deal of I'm not going to get into the politics of it.
The mask. Yeah.
Hey,
it's still required inside.
You can go outside and hang out and go to a baseball game and chill out and have fun, or you can sit inside an arena and wear a mask. Which are you going to choose? It's an easy call.
So, no, I think for the most part, what Ole Miss is doing ticket-wise makes a lot of sense. I think people were pretty happy with it. I mean, other than the food still being prepackaged, I don't know that you would have noticed anything different about Swayze on Saturday or Sunday at all. It was good. I mean, kind of like Drew said, I've seen a lot of people go, hey, that was awesome. That was kind of the normal. So that's the first time we've seen it since Princeton or whatever last week during the season.
Town felt kind of bonkers.
Yeah, I didn't really get out in the middle of it, but
I kind of drove through it a little bit. It was a lot of people. People were excited.
People stir crazy a little bit. You had an opportunity to get out and got out.
A lot of people hadn't had a chance to do things like that in a year.
Yeah. I'd be curious about this from a standpoint of Texas people. This is the headline on the main – or not headline. It's the main story on ESPN.com. Talked to a couple people about this and just organically in the last couple months. Story that says the Oilers were just so Texas, inside Houston's enduring love for its late NFL team. Coached by a man named Baum and powered by a running back named Earl, the NFL team and the city were simpatico. It's a far cry from where Houston stands with the Texans today.
Yeah.
About how the Texans have not latched on there in Houston.
I was a little kid when they had Earl Campbell and Dan Pastorini and Robert Brazil and all those cats and Bum Phillips, and they just couldn't get past the Steelers. Got close. Probably did it, and a touchdown got called back that would have sent them to the Super Bowl. Mike Renfro's feet were in.
Instant replay, and they're in one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, people were jacked. Everybody loved them. They had the Love You Blue, and they played in the Astrodome, and it got loud, and that was fun.
So, I don't know. Just interesting there. Something I probably will bookmark and read as
yeah, I'll read that too. Is that in The Athletic?
No, it's ESPN.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dave Wilson from ESPN.com 8 hours ago.
The technical thing's probably going to stop us from really diving in on Rush Propst. We will do that, though, because I want to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow.
And then the Les Miles thing. Les Miles out at Kansas, at least.
Everybody knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll hit both those things tomorrow. We have plenty of time. Ole Miss baseball, Alcorn State tomorrow at ULM, as Neal said, this weekend, in Oxford to close the non-conference portion of league play. They go
ULM Friday, Saturday, Sunday here.
Yes.
Then 2 Louisiana Tech Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes.
And then come home to play Auburn league opener on Friday.
Correct.
Huh.
First road series, Alabama.
And the Tech games, Tuesday's night, Wednesday's day?
That's always what they do, so I'll assume it's the case here too. They usually will play at like 5 or 6 on Tuesday, and then, play like an 11, 12-ish kind of game on Wednesday.
We didn't touch on these sponsors as much as I would normally do. I'll make it up to you guys down the road. We're brought to you by Bain, Moss & Bowen, 618 East Waldron Street in Corinth. It's a terrific law firm. They'll take great care of you. 662-287-1620, whether you are DUI defense, car wrecks, representing government entities, they can handle it. We're also brought to you by Alpha Specialties, 1670 Highway 80 in Pearl, Mississippi. It is your trailer-specific professional. They've got Load Trail. They also have Hallmark cargo trailers. get in touch with them at alphaofms.com. They can repair all types of trailers as well. 601-932-9798. Brought to you by Blue Delta Jeans. They make the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world because they're uniquely made for you and only you. Raw denim jeans, custom fit, hand-tailored in Tupelo. One size fits one at BlueDeltaJeans.com. All you got to do is go to them at their virtual tailor at BlueDeltaJeans.com. You can get measured by that new virtual tailor and design your very own jeans. And just for podcast listeners, enter the discount code Rebel Grove. That's one word, all lowercase at checkout. Get 10% off your order. The most comfortable jeans you'll ever wear. And we're brought to you by The Rogue. It's your destination for fine men's clothing. Their stylist hand-select pieces from top designers, from work to lifestyle to nightlife. There's the perfect something for everyone at The Rogue. All the best items from Peter Millar, Martin Dingman, Jack Victor, Halsey, True Grit, Duckhead, and more. 4450 I-55 North in Jackson or at therogue.com.
I did see that, yes. Belmont did win the girls' basketball state championships. Even though baseball was a struggle this weekend in Oxford.
I saw that.
The Belmont girls did win the state title. They beat Kossuth in overtime.
Wow.
Won that. I think North Mississippi won at least 5 of the 6 girls' basketball state titles. I think they went 5-1 against the South.
That's what we do.
And it might have been 6-0, but it was at least 5-1. So I don't know. I don't know. Is Laurel in the North and the South? They were the one I wasn't sure about.
I think that's South, right?
I have no idea. I would assume,
because we watch that show all the time, and people are buying like a mansion in Laurel and redoing it, and the price tag's like $125,000. I'm like, why in 4 years would we not move?
I do feel like I do that a lot too. Like which I used to. I don't go home anymore. But in Amory, you would open like the classifieds and go, "Hold on, what? That house is what?
Yeah.
208,000. Like I can buy half the town.
6,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's the damnedest thing
for a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sure Neal will break down Jackson State's win over Grambling as Dion moved to 2-0.
Did Jackson State win?
Oh yeah, beat Grambling. Handed Grambling its first home loss since 2015.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Prime time. I think 33-28, something like that. So, anyway, we'll be back tomorrow. Normal time for us. We'll hope the power doesn't go out. We'll just have one file for you guys. But thankfully, Audition saved us a little bit. So we appreciate the time, appreciate the stuff in the stream, and we will talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.